So hi everybody, it's me again. It is Wednesday, January, February, March, April, May something something. It's June. Where have I been? It's June 11th or 12th. I'm not even sure. I haven't looked at my calendar. Anyways, this is my second video on YouTube. I'm still waiting for them to approve my channel. You know, it's a process when you start something like this, just like with, TikTok, Facebook, all those platforms are all different requirements. But I do know that YouTube, you have to prove to them that you are you, and you have to wait for them to approve your channel. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for them to approve my channel, please go ahead and subscribe if you see this video. If you want to continue to learn crafting, most of the crafting I do is wiring, but I do a lot of other crafts. And I promise you, my face will be in here eventually. Right now, I just need to focus on showing you how to wrap. So, yesterday, I messed up. So, if you did watch the video, you're all probably saying, does that girl know her difference between centimeters and inches? Yes, I do. I don't know why I was saying inches when I was using the ruler that has inches and centimeters on it. Now, yesterday, let me correct this. So that way, if you guys are trying to learn how to do the loops, let me correct it. If I was going to use the inch, like I was doing in the centimeters, this is actually 2 centimeters. So when I was doing the loops, I was actually doing, cutting it down to 1 centimeter, and I was taking it down to, no, I couldn't have. So actually I started out with a 2 centimeter pen, and I cut it down once I looped it and everything. I'll have to do another video on that one. But if I'm saying inches, please change it to centimeters. If you're interested in learning on that first tutorial, let's change that from inches to millimeters. I do apologize for that. I don't know what it is when I do videos. I get myself twisted. It's like my brain is on overload. I think I'm a terrible multitasker. With that being said, let's go ahead and continue with today's. Today we're going to be wrapping this beautiful blue piece of glass. This is not real, this is glass. It is gorgeous. So if I'd had a real emerald or a blue sapphire, it would look something like this, but not as see-through as this is. It's only a piece of glass. It's a nice round bevel piece of glass. We're going to wrap it because it really will make a beautiful brooch. Y'all know the trend for 2024 is jewelry that pops. Things like flowers, larger jewelry. Also, when it comes to loops, they're a lot more fatter and thicker. The trend is really awesome because there's so many colors popping in the jewelry trend in 2024. This is actually not called a fish hook. This is actually a French hook. We're going to be using this French hook because we are going to make some teardrops, I think. No, not today. No teardrops. See what I mean? Woo! So tomorrow we'll be making some teardrop earrings. So we'll be using 18 karat gold. This hook, which is called a French hook. You have your fish hooks, and then you have your French hooks. There's several different types, like your post and all that stuff. But I like the way this is nice and thick. It's a beautiful shine to it. And as you can see, it's going to hook in behind here. But tomorrow, I think I'll come on here and make you guys some teardrop earrings. Let me give you an example. You can make them in a variety of colors, different sizes, different lengths. Here's a teardrop. I call this a teardrop. We're going to do this with fadeless wire. We're going to be making the frame for the crystal to go in. We can hang some 18 sterling silver wire from it. Chain if we want to. See what I'm saying? You know, I'm not for everyone, but what the heck. Anyway, I hope that you do learn. Man, that's so. What the heck? I think it's got it's looped over there. Let me unloop that because it really throw you for a loop if you're trying to look at the beauty of this piece. Untwist. Okay, there we go. Much better. So it's going to have 3 of the sterling silver chains with a piece of crystal hanging at the very end. Here we have some not smoky crystal, but some cloudy crystal. I don't even know how I would say that. It's not completely incandescent, not clear. And I'm probably not saying that right either, but you guys will get used to me and my way of my terminology about things. Anyway, this is what they call the teardrop. You can do this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I also noticed the trend that short hair, long hair women are wearing the more longer earrings, and they're actually almost dragging on the shoulder. That's a new trend in 2024. It's going to be, the jewelry accessories are going to be more, you're going to see more people wearing accessories than you ever have before in the year 2024. The pieces are really super pretty, especially the flowers. I recently just made a bracelet. What did I do with that one? That has a flower on it. But I do have an ankle bracelet here, I think. I do have that has a flower on it. My gosh, don't let me waste my time on this. Anyway, as soon as, oh here, no, that ain't it. As soon as I find it, I would definitely show it to you. It's the earrings of like big flowers on their ears, flowers on their neck, or one that looks like a choker that the black rose is hanging off to the left of the neck. So you might have saw that. Let's go ahead and start it. I'm going to go ahead and I have already pre-cut 4 pieces of 1mm wire. Now 1mm, if you want to know what it means when I say 1mm wire, that means that 1mm wire is actually 18 gauge. So if you're looking for the wire and you want to know what the actual gauge is, 1mm is actually an 18 gauge wire. We're going to be using 18 gauge, and I think we're going to go ahead and try to use a 4mm, which is 26 gauge. Now always remember that your wires, the bigger they are, the smaller the number. That's how I always remember. So what I've done here is I've measured out 4, and let's get this right this time. I've measured out 4 of the 15 centimeters, or we'll go down 2 inches or 6 inches, depending on how you want to measure your pieces. So I've cut 4 6 inches, or we can say 4 15 centimeters. It's actually 15 centimeters. All right, I'll put that ruler away. If you've got one that does centimeters and inches, sorry, I hit the mic. Just remember, don't do like me and confuse one from the other. All right, so I'm going to put these together. I want to make sure they're nice and flat. You also want to make sure you have a pair of flat nose pliers. I call these needle nose pliers, which I know that's not what they're called. There is a right term for that. Nylon pliers, so that you can straighten your wire as you go, or flatten if you need to flatten. And also your wire cutters. Also, as soon as YouTube approves my channel, I'll be able to link where some of these materials can be purchased at the bottom of this video. Right now, I'm waiting for them to approve my channel before I can add any links. But then, with that being said, go ahead and subscribe because you can. And as soon as my channel is approved, I'll be able to add those links for you. If you have any questions, you know you can always message me. I'm also going to add my Facebook channel, and I'm also going to add my TikTok channel and my Instagram channel, along with the YouTube channel. You'll be able to reach me on Facebook through Messenger, really easy. If you see anything here that I've made and you don't want to make it and you just want to purchase it, please don't hesitate to reach out to me in Messenger. I do not have a website linked here. As I said before, I'm probably going to get another one, but in the meantime, I'm waiting because the one year that I did have a website, which cost me $600 a year, I may have gotten $20 worth of orders on it. Most people go contact me personally when they're wanting something personal made. Don't forget, I do DIF t-shirts, I do cups, I do dream catchers. There's so many things that we're going to learn here on this channel, and I'll be more than glad to share with you. So if you're looking for something to be therapeutic and to keep you busy, or just finding a hobby, making pieces that you enjoy, to me, it's been very therapeutic. I wish I could get my daughters going in it because sometimes they need something to keep their minds busy. I find that crafting really does keep your mind very busy and helps us cope with things that we have to cope on in everyday life. Everyone's different, can't judge another, because we all go through different things, and I will never ever look at another person the same, because I have to realize that that person could be going through something that I totally don't understand. Anyway, let's don't get into that. Let's go ahead and get started. So what I've done is I've got 4 pieces. I'm going to take some 4mm wire, which is going to be taking that camera, which is going to be 26 gauge, and I'm just going to join this center. Okay, so here is our 4mm 26 gauge. I went ahead and marked all this because if I try to remember anything that I might need to remember, y'all see what I did yesterday with the ruler, got my centimeters and my inches all messed up. So I'm going to pull off, I don't know, about, let's go ahead and measure this. I'll make it easier for you. It doesn't really have to be an exact measurement, but to keep from wasting your wire, let's go ahead and pop off, take off about, turn this around, girl. Let's go ahead and, let's go 30, let's go ahead and take about 60 centimeters, which will be 24 inches in inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Try to keep my wire, straight by cutting a little bit so that I can keep it wrapped up and keep it from just, you know, how things do when you unwrap them. They just go, and you've got this big gob shooting outside your pieces. So I take these 4 wires, and y'all have to remember that I'm also working in front of a camera, looking into a camera while doing this, and it takes a lot of practice to learn how to do videos. Getting ready for videos, making videos is not as easy as it looks. It looks really simple from the person on the other side of the screen, but if you have never ever done a tutorial, made a video on making anything or doing anything, then it's a little bit hard for me to explain. It is a challenge. It can be somewhat, it can be frustrating sometimes, because I do try to do it on several platforms. I do go live. I am eventually going to be going live here on YouTube as soon as they approve my channel. I'm really moving forward. So I'm going to go right here, right into the center. I want to make sure these are even, so I'm going to have to measure those. Measurements is very important when you're making a piece. Not that the ends need to be level or anything like that. So if I'm going to do 6 inches, we would have to move to the center would be 3 inches. So we know the center is going to start at 3. Not that the center is important, but I need to move over a little bit because I'm just going to weave a little piece right in the center to go on the edge of that stone. So I'm going to bring that kind of down in the middle of my wire. And I'm probably going to get quiet here because I really have to focus. So sit back, relax, and just watch, because I want to do this slow enough to where you can do it yourself. So I'm going to pull these away a little bit because these will confuse you. But you want to make sure you keep that center pretty close together. So I'm just going to do 1 wrap here at the very beginning, because I'm kind of stabilizing my wire here. And as you see, while my end of fingernails. So I'm going to go 1 wrap on the second one, and then I'm going to go between that one to the third one, and then I'm going to go through that one to the very last one. And y'all can see how that's taking place. Let me pull you in just a little bit so you can see. Don't judge my fingernails, please. You can see how that's working out. Let me see if I can stay close in like that and focus at the same time so you guys can see. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it all the way back down on the back side. I'm actually going to start right here on the second one. Okay. Then I'm going to do that 2 times. Okay. Then I'm going to go through the second one. If I can move it where y'all can see. The second one and over the third one. Y'all see that? Like y'all going to answer me, right? Through this one and onto the third one. Just a second. Then I'm going to go, see how that just twisted right there? Like it messed you up real fast. So I'm going to try to adjust that. Then I'm going to go through the third, over the third one onto the last one. And I'm going to do that 2 times. So we're doing that 2 times. I'm going to bring that back down. Now this is where your nylon pliers come in handy. You want to be able to, I can't say, push it together. You can also take the claw and just push down, which is going to make that see a lot neater, a lot more stable. We're going to do that 1 more time. Now we're only going to do a small section because this is going to go on to the bottom. I'm hoping I just want it to go onto the bottom of this stone. It's going to be a place for it to rest. I'm hoping I'm not using too many, and I hope the width should be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to do that one more time. We're going to go to the first two, and we're going to do that twice. Try to keep your pieces lined up really nice because you want it to look neat. Okay, then we're going to go, see what happens? I'm going to go here to the second one and to the middle one, the two middle ones. We're going to, no. Hold on, back up. Let's rewind. See how my wires, see how easy they can get like in a mangled mess? This doesn't always happen to me. I think it's because I'm doing it live. Okay, let me straighten myself up here. You don't belong there, dude. Let me get this. It's harder to go back and try to fix everything. Okay, now that I've done that, I've wrapped. The one down here needs to be wrapped twice. I only did it once. So let's go ahead and wrap that one more time right there. Okay. Make sure this is all together. Let me get myself straightened down here. Just to show you, there's a lot to doing a piece for someone. Especially when you're doing a video, you got to stay in the frame, and sometimes that's not easy, so I'm going to use my finger now. Now I'm going to go, if I can just get this one to behave, so you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay, now that I got my finger hit, it all has to do with how you hold it too. It has a lot. You don't want to just swing your arm out and wrap it. So now we're going to go into the two center ones, okay? Two center ones are next. You know, go slow. You don't have to go real fast. Oh, my hands are so dry. I'm going to wrap that middle one. See how that is doing me? You're going to run into little things. It's okay, because you can see it. When you're not on a camera, you can see it a lot easier, work a lot easier. But when you're doing a video, it's a little different. If you've ever done videos, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never done videos, it's probably confusing you a little bit. Now we're going to go to the last two. I really like to keep my hand closed, but since I'm in this camera, I got to get that out of there. Okay. The last two times. Then we're going to bring it back down here, and I'm just going to hit that first one. And I'm going to hit that second one. All I'm doing is stabilizing that wire. Yeah, you can see how that is really, really pretty. This is your back side. This is going to be your front side. I'm going to back you up just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and snip these wires. I like to secure this one. This one right here is pretty secure, so I'm going to cut it from the top. And you don't have to have such a long tail. I have a pretty long tail. Cut that off. We're also going to make sure that we leave that in. You can use these pliers, or you can use your regular pliers. Just want to make sure that's tucked in really well. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go ahead and cut that wire. Move this off to the side. Make sure that's tucked in. Make sure everything's gathered. So as you can see, the good thing about this is we're able to kind of adjust that in the center. I do need to make sure that's tucked in good. You can also measure it. We're at 6. I need to move it just a little bit more to center it. Okay. Here comes the toughy part. Now I have my jewel or my piece of glass laying here, so what I want to do is I'm going to bend that right in here with my hand, or you can use a tool, but I'm just going to use my hand. Because I'm going to lay it down here, and I'm going to put my beautiful crystal. I'm just going to kind of push it really slow around the piece of crystal. And people do it differently. Other people don't do it exactly like I do it. They do it totally different, but this is how I do it. Now, as you can see, I made myself a nice base for that crystal. Another thing I like to do when I'm wrapping crystals, I like to make sure these are in between each other, because we're going to be working with this up here. We're just kind of going to weave in between each other, kind of like that. It makes it easier also. I'm going to go ahead and lay this back down again and make sure my my adjustments are right. And sometimes I'll press it against the surface and kind of give this a nice little squeeze with my nail on pliers, because I really don't want to scratch my pieces. Let's go ahead and go back with the pliers, and I'm going to go ahead and... Doing this on the live is something I never thought I would ever do, because I'm not that good at this yet, but I'm trying to be. You want to keep all that flat and straight. Let's see how we're doing here. The beginning is a little bit of a struggle, but you'll get it. Okay, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm just going to make a few adjustments with my fingers. I just want to make sure that my stone is going to fit inside of its casing. It's easier when you get it on a flat surface. Holding it up is a little bit more difficult. Let me try this again by laying it down. See if I can get myself really good and lined up. Now you can see that I've got my casing. So now I want to secure this up here. So I'm going to go ahead and take, I think I'm going to take some, I could use 4mm. I just want to make sure this is all been together really well. Now everybody does it different. Everybody wires right, almost similar, but they handle it differently. So there's my casing. Now what I want to do is lock, this is how I do it. I don't know about anyone else. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to secure this right here to make sure that's nice and locked in good. I also want to make sure that all these, make sure that I've got this centered also. You got to tweak your stuff, but you guys, you got to tweak it. You know, you got to tweak it to make it look very perfect and beautiful. You have to do some tweaking. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I'm getting those. I want to get those tucked in also. I don't, you know, don't want somebody to get scratched. Now, as you can see, that's very pretty. The sides are all lined up. So all I do now is I've got to secure this, and then once I secure this, I'm able to start working with the stone. So I'm gonna go ahead and take. I'm gonna go ahead and use the 4. This all lined up. I'm just going to drop this in there where I can hide it later, and I'm just going to give this a nice little wrap for now. Sometimes I will even remove this. It's just going to stabilize it to where I can continue to work, but I like to keep it all really nice and neat, as you can see. This is going to just help me. Here's that piece. It's going to help me see how my stones fit in there perfectly. Now, if I wanted to keep my stone in there right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these so they'll help hold it in. It all has to do with the way you can handle your material when you're holding it. Some people are really good at it. I recently just learned this method. So yeah, I'm not that great at it yet, and it does take time. Wire wrapping is not just back where it belongs. Wire wrapping is not something you learn in 5 minutes, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop my stone back in there, and I'll lay it down, I think, until I get it on there. It's a little stubborn. Okay, I'm gonna bring that around the back. Because right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to stabilize my stone. And then I can go back and design it later. All I'm doing right now is making it stable by using the wires that I put together down there to hold the stone. So I've got my stone in that casing. And I have these two back here kind of holding it in. Okay, cool. I think I want to try to tighten this up a little bit right in here. So this is why I wrapped this away, because I'm able to hold it together without using my hands to do it with. Because that can really mess you up. I mean, other wire wrappers will judge the way I do it. That's typical. The way I'll do that. We like to be, you know, actually the truth is we are our worstest critics, to be honest. We judge ourselves harder than anyone else in this world. We are our worstest critics. Let me go ahead and wrap this a little bit more right in here. A nice wrap. I don't want it to be bulky. See, my problem is I love to see the stone. I don't like to cover a lot of my stone. I like to see my stone. I'm trying to pull this nice and tight for now. Okay, so I'm going to bend some of these out of my way. And I'm actually going to leave two of these because I want to make the brooch that it's going to be hanging from. And maybe there's two wires. So I'm going to move these out of my way. And I'm using a soft wire because it's a little bit easier to work with. And I'm kind of going to expand this, and I'm going to do what they call the figure 8 up in here, which I'll be bending that back, and that's going to be holding it. And everybody does it differently. I am going to work with this a little bit more because I really do want my stone. Now you can see how I'm tweaking it, what I'm doing to it. It's everybody goes through this, even professional wire wrappers. Dropped it. They all go through it. I like to create my own designs though. And I like to simplify things also. I see the way other people do it. Y'all see how I'm using the fingernails. I see other people do it and I'm like, no, there's got to be an easier way. But sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's not an easier way. The lady that I watch a lot, I can watch her and I'm like, you make it look so simple. And it's really not as simple as she makes it look, but she does make it look really simple. She really does. Now back here I'm going to take my needle nose, or flat, and I'm going to just do a little twirling right in here. Just to give the back a little bit of a lick. Now I'm going to go back later with some 3mm wire and probably wrap a little bit around that center. We're going to go to the front. I don't like a lot of wire in my front because I want to see the stone. But you still have to secure it. Still got to make that you got to make it secure. Because nobody wants to lose their stone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to put a little tiny bend right here. I'm going to bring it into the stone a little bit. I want it to be even. And be careful because we do kind of scratch the wire a little bit. Bring that over. and I'll bring this over. Bring that back a little bit. I'm not too impressed with that. But I will go back and maybe add a little bit of wire to wrap in there, just a nice little, like I've done down here on the bottom. And as you're going through it, you are going to have to do some tweaking, girls. Alright, that's pretty secure right now. So the next, so these right here, you want to get rid of them, but see, I haven't cut that off yet because I'm not too sure I'm happy with that. But you can actually take them and fold them real slowly. You can do all kinds of crazy things with them. Okay, I'll bend that one that way. And I'm going to bring this one that away. And I'm creating as I go. I am creating this as I go. Okay, I'm liking the way those 3 wires are laying. I'm still going to have this back here, but we'll take care of that in just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and design this. I'm going to even that up. And you can actually pull them from the back side if you want to get that one out of your way. Let's see. That middle one is driving me a little bonkers. Let me bring this one in a little bit more. Because I'm going to be bringing this around here and we're going to be cutting that off back there. But I just want to keep all of this looking super nice through here. Get rid of that too. We still have this one piece. I'm going to go ahead and bring that one piece around also. And toward the back. Now we got that cuteness. And I can actually, let's just go ahead and loop all of these. Maybe into a heart. But I think I'll have to bring this through here. Give me just a second. You see how I'm trying to tweak everything. Let's see if I can get this one through there too. And just create your own designs. You gotta work your wire the way you want to work it. And this is how everybody comes up with these really neat designs, is because they work their wire. Okay, let's go to the back and we're gonna get rid of some of this. I'm gonna bring this out just for a minute. So in order to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting. I think I'm going to start with this one here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Then I'm going to use the icon needle nose pliers, and I'm actually going to give this a nice little twist right in here. And if I feel like it's still too long, I'll go in and snip it again. To me, this is a pretty simple wrap. Go to the second one, and what I'm trying to do is tuck these wires away by giving them some cuteness. That's all I'm doing. By just giving them that. This is going to be the back. This is going to be the front. And do these other 2 wires because this is actually going to secure them also. To get rid of that little guy. And a little bit longer. Trying to think if I should go. And you gotta think. You gotta put your mind into this. push it with the nylon pliers because I don't want to scrape it up. Let me go ahead and bring this one a little bit below that one. This is also going to help hold it in also. Kind of like a 1/2 inch. Let me go ahead and go in here. Twirl this one around. Shoot. Shoot. You want to make sure your ends are in because you don't want nobody getting scratched. So now we have these last two that we need to work with. Almost just like a bow. Oh, my leg is cramping. Almost looks like a bow, but I want to make sure they're lined up really well because I'm going to bring those about right in here and twirl them up in the back too. These, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Down in there and get it. Get it, get it. And I've got rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that those are all tucked in. Now we're going to get rid of these on the back. Now some people get their do these later on. I like to get them out of my way. That way I can work on my my way of hanging your chain. And practice, guys, just practice. Create your own designs. Put together your own, because I'm telling you, the things that we can come up with are just absolutely, some of them are, I came up with pieces that I amazed myself, to be honest. Now all this is going to be on the back. I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze with the pliers. Go back around here. You can see we kind of got a little hard up there, but it's got a nice form to it. It's nice and sturdy. Now we're going to go here. We're going to use, I think I'm going to use, I could use the 3 mm, but we're going to go ahead and use the 4 mm. You want to spread your wire kind of like that. And we'll work on this in a minute. I may go back and add some wire around these two just to give it that, some like 3 mm wire, and just wrap it right here against those two. I don't know if I'm actually like that bend, because I really want to see the stone. Now this is going to be your back. I'm going to straighten it up a little bit more. No, not that. I use the pliers. I'm going to tap that in a little bit deeper because I want it to come together. So I'm going to probably come back here too and add some 3 mm wire. Just give it a nice little wrap right there, just so it looks a lot neater. Go ahead and smash this one down. I like using the nylon pliers because it doesn't damage your wire. That's the back. That's gonna lay up against your chest. This is what's gonna be laying against your neck. And I think we're gonna change this plan right here also, because I want to see the stone. I really do. I really like the idea that I can see that stone. I'm going to pull this down right here a little bit more. We can tweak this a little bit. So I'm going to grab some what did I say? I'm going to use some 4 mm. I'm going to go ahead and pull, because what I pulled earlier I don't think is enough, and I'll use most of that. So let's go ahead and pull about, I want to do about 60 millimeters. That's going to be 24 inches. And the 4 mm wire. Where'd that even go? I want to make sure this is tucked. Oops. Yeah, I'm such a klutz, can I tell you? So now I'm going to do, I think, what you call the figure 8. I'm going to go ahead and put that, drop that right in there, because I'm going to be cutting that off. I'm going to give us a couple little wraps here, just to secure the wire. Okay. Now we're going to go with figure 8. Oh, I need to get in the frame, don't I? I like to do the double wrap, because it secures that better. figure 8 is over and over, back over and over. Now we're going to push all that together. I'm going a little bit too far apart from each other. I don't like out of the way. Just basically securing my wire. All right. Let's go ahead and continue with the figure 8. Sometimes I throw myself for a loop. I forget what I'm doing. Okay. I guess I should pull y'all a little closer so you can actually see. Hold on. Not that easy to do. Okay, so we're going to go around here. I do it twice. Some people do it once. And back over this one. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, 1. Push that one down. 2. 1, 2. Yeah, please don't look at my dry hands. Now, sometimes we do this from the front, but I'm actually going to do it from this side. They're going to look the same on both sides, actually. Then we're going to go back over here. 1 and 2. I'm always adjusting mine. Okay, over. 1. Now we go back over to this one. 1. I'm really putting my hands out too far. I should keep my hands a lot closer to my work. Okay, here, let's just change this. 1. Trying to look in this camera and doing this is, yeah, it's a challenge, but I figured I'll get it. The more practice, the better you get. 1, 2. Okay. 1. And my second though is me going back to the other side. Here we go. Over. 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 I'm getting it right. I should be doing this differently, but okay. But I think my stone needs to be cleaned a little bit more, but it sure is pretty. Okay, we go over here. 2. You see, when I'm this close, it blurs out on me too. So I can show you that. 1, 2. To the next one, over. 1, 2. Over. 1, 2. Over. 1, 2. Gotta keep that work pushed down. And once this gets to a certain length, I'll be able to fold it over, and then you'll have the way to hang your brooch. Okay. Oops. Dang it. Look what I did. Just fix it. I got y'all so close I can't even see. Okay, here. 1. I should just be doing 1, but I don't know what is it being this 2. I need to back up a little bit. I'm just too close and it's messing you guys up too. Maybe, I don't know. I'll pull you back in just a second. I'm having a hard time working this. Because the camera's so close, it's getting out of focus. So you can see it's a figure 8 on both sides. Go over here. I'm running out of wire. Ooh, sorry. I suck. I'll get better, guys. I'll get better. I hope that you're able. Let me pull you back in just for a second so y'all can see this is the very end of it. Okay, I'm running out of wire, and we're going to make this work. And around. You see when I'm so close it blurs out on you. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to be bending this over like this. And this is how we're going to be hanging your brooch. Now we're going to connect it in the back. Now what I like to do, I don't want to get too busy back here. And so what I like to do is I'm going to snip this off about right in here. Now this is one of many designs you can do. This is not the only designs that you can do. I'm going to go ahead and twirl in this end because I don't want that end to scrape anyone. So I'm going to turn it inwards. Alright, now that I've got that in there, it's still loose, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 4mm wire and we're going to be attaching that right there. But first I'm going to cut these away. I'm out of frame. See, when I'm close like that, I also get out of frame really bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach these two onto the base. That way you don't have to, you could actually leave it that way and all you have to do is lift it up and put it on the chain. But I kind of like to attach them. You don't have to. You got to do whatever floats your boat. That's all I can tell you. But as y'all can see, that wasn't a really hard wrap. It's a pretty simple wrap. I've done better, I have to say. Don't forget, as soon as my channel is approved, I will be attaching a link for where you can get the fadeless wire a lot quicker. I get some from my vendor, but I do like to support Della. She's been a wonderful teacher. She's been an amazing person. Clean that up. Come on, buddy, clean up. She's been a wonderful teacher. She does have tutorials on TikTok, and she also sells the DIY materials. I could start selling the materials, but I really don't have a big enough shop for that. I really like showing and teaching and making that special piece for that special person. What I like about the wire that I'm using, you don't have to worry about it turning your skin or being allergic. This wire has been tested. I've seen the papers where it's been to the lab reports where it's been tested. Super good wire. I have quite a few ladies that might be on my YouTube that have some of my pieces, and I mean, if you ever want to get a good testimonial, I guess you can go ask one of them. They'll either give you negative or I'm just babbling now. Boy, am I babbling. So what I'm going to do when I continue on with this, I'm actually going to wrap a small piece here just to give it a nice design. I'm going to stabilize this right here, the center. Make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. And you guys, please remember, this is my second video on this YouTube channel. I'm still waiting for YouTube to approve my channel. Anybody can get on here and make a video, but to be able to use their tools, you have to be approved. This is why I haven't been able to add any links at the bottom, as I promised you. But please stay tuned. Please subscribe, because there is a whole lot more to come. Not only do I wire wrap grouts, I have so many things that I do, not just jewelry. I do a lot of crafting ideas. So I'm also going to be trying to go live on YouTube. Just a piece, I'm going to tuck that in. I'm going to try to start going live on TikTok. So if you are subscribing, please, I think you could turn on your notifications. I'm not real sure how that works. I'm not sure how YouTube works at all. It's a learning, a lot of learning. I have still got a lot of learning, and that is not centered. I got to work on that. Let me get that moving, guys. I don't like things not centered like they're supposed to be. Oops. And that brooch, or this piece of glass, is not coming out. Look at that. And we're going to be adding, if you want to, you can also get the chain for me. All my chains are sterling silver. I've got this locked in here just to give you some idea what that will look like. Let me see what I've done here. And grab a piece of this chain just to give y'all some idea what it looked like on the chain. It doesn't have to be this particular chain, but how you would hook it. You can also lift it up if I don't. I'm going to tack it down though. Just want you to see what you've done today. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I think it is anyway. Here's the back. Not too busy. And here's the front. Like I said, I'm going to add some wire here and here where these two marks are. I'm going to add wire on those two sides. Just to spruce it up a little bit. And then when I come on next time, I will show you what I did to finish it up. But there it is. Thank you guys for joining. I hope I helped a little bit. I'm not one of those amazing wire wrappers, but I do my best. And I love teaching what I know. Doesn't mean I know everything, and I won't claim to know everything. So you can see that a little close up with that. Now I still need to polish that glass a little bit more. Remember, this is not a sapphire. This is actually glass. But heck, far glass is just as pretty, especially if you put it in a very nice wire where it will last you a long, long time, because glass ain't going nowhere. You know, that does look like a sapphire, but it's not. I would never tell you that was a sapphire when it's not. It's just a basic round piece of glass. Anyway, you guys, please have a beautiful day, and I hope that I corrected the mistakes I made in my last video. And I will see you guys again here soon on YouTube. I'm hoping to go live on here soon. So if you're going to subscribe, please subscribe. And please, I don't know how you follow. I don't know that much about like YouTube, I said. Or if you can turn on your notifications, so when I do go live, you'll know I'm live. And I'm pretty sure there's a replay on lives. I don't know. But we're going to keep working until we get this YouTube down. So if you have any questions, please leave a message below. I think you can. I don't know. This is my second video. If I have made any mistakes, please don't hesitate to let me know, because sometimes we don't realize we're doing something unless someone says something. But please be nice. Don't be cruel. And I will see you guys again on my next YouTube video. Have a beautiful week.